Hello everyone and welcome back to my The Young and Restless 24 YouTube channel. I hope you guys are having a wonderful day. Before we start, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Nate Hastings sees Audra Charles and Holden Novak having a particular moment, while across city Summer Newman refutes the blameworthiness that she's jealous of Claire Newman. Summer and her family Daniel Romalotti are enjoying potables at Society, when the content of Kyle Abbott and Claire's relationship comes up. Daniel was born history and he views Summer's commentary as indicating that she's jealous of her kinsman. Summer denies everything, but being the good family that he is, Daniel gives his sis a caution. He may indeed bring up their overzealous mama Phyllis Summers as an illustration of how not to live one's life. Ouch. Daniel could remind her that she's a co-parent with Kyle and any misstep on her part could affect the arrangement. Will Summer hear or continue to deny the egregious? Indeed, Claire sees it. Summer will one day make a move on Kyle. Will Claire handle the competition in a peaceful manner? Audra and Holden keep secrets. Meanwhile, Audra and Holden have a gentleman's agreement to not let on that they are non-natives. This pact is risked when Nate sees them having further than a friendly discussion about the rainfall. Nate was born history, and he's pulled a con or three himself. He wants to know if he's wrong, and interrogates Holden and Audra at the coffee house. Will these two be devious enough to wisecrack Nate? Audra could say she's getting to know Holden more, and anyway, he and Damien Kane wouldn't be in GC long. Nate isn't happy about this news, and could try to talk his bro into sticking around a bit longer. Nate wants Amy Lewis to be suitable to make peace with Damien, and he tries to guilt Damien into staying. Damien banged into Lily Winters, and he looked like he was hit with the silly stick. Was that love at first sight we witnessed? Holden and Audra could be fractured once Damien makes a pivotal decision about LA. Victor made it clear to Claire that he disapproved of her courting Kyle and slyly pushed his other granddaughter, Summer, to reconnect with her partner and their son as a family. Little Harrison helped him there, persuading his parents to work with him on a diorama about his home life for Academy, which caused Kyle to cancel plans with Claire. And indeed, though Summer claimed she was happy for Kyle and Claire, not everyone believed her. Summer tells Daniel if he's suggesting she's jealous of Kyle and Claire's relationship, he's way off base. Damien reeled over the fact that Nate was his half-family, the man he allowed. Was his father wasn't, and that his mama was dying. He stunned Nate and Amy by walking out on them, latterly deciding to leave Genoa City for good. Nate promised Amy he'd get through to Damien, but it appears Nate has other problems, involving indeed more secrets. Coming week, Audra tells Holden that last thing she needs after all this is Nate chancing out they've a history. Nate appears and asks, what's going on then? Eventually, what's old is new again, and Victor is setting his sights on his coming, veritably familiar target. Victor says, now that Ian Ward and that Jordan woman are out of the picture, I want to apply the coming phase of my plan. Michael asks, which plan? Victor replies, to go after Jack Abbott via Jabot. Some plot twists on the horizon as Genoa City kicks off. Someone lies about their covetousness, while two old musketeers get caught in a falsehood of their own, and someone's got a devious plan up their sleeve. What's set to unravel during Monday's show? Time to find out. Summer Newman will catch up with her family Daniel Romalotti at Society, and it looks during their converse he'll indicate she's a little jealous of Kyle Abbott's new love with Claire Newman. Of course, Summer will deny this. Still, both Daniel and YNR suckers can tell she's lying. The Claire love has rubbed Summer the wrong way, and she's easily throwing petty little lodgings Claire's way. Still, will effects get unpretty as the days and weeks go by? Suckers will have to tune in to find out. Holden Nova has a once connection with Audra Charles, which the two are hiding from Nate Hastings. Audra and Holden will be talking about keeping their history on the down low, while at Crimson, when Nate walks in on their discussion. Will the two get busted during Monday's show, or can Audra smooth effects over? Incipiently, Victor Newman will formally again strike back at Jack Abbott, and it looks like he'll start his conniving during Monday's occasion. The mustache will be at the Newman Ranch in a meeting with Michael Baldwin when he drops the lemon of enforcing the coming phase of his vengeance plan against Jack, which is going after Jabot. Does Victor plan to take that company over too, or bury it? Kyle Abbott to get suspicious. Diane Jenkins Abbott unveils her big plan. Also, Phyllis Summers commits some sabotage. Diane to get some plans together for her big redecorating design. Jack Abbott didn't want anything changed at all. Diane promised that she wouldn't do anything major without Jack's blessing, but promised not to affect the house's recollections. Diane also asked Tracy Abbott for her help. So, Diane's big reveal might just impress Jack if she chooses to change veritably little. Summer Newman to continue having pressure with Claire Grace Newman. Summer is reconnecting with Kyle, especially with Harrison Abbott's conditioning pulling the parents closer. Still, Kyle knows Summer well and could call her out. Summer seems to be taking advantage of Claire's precariousness. So, Kyle might try to squash that right down before Summer toys with Claire too much. Of course, we could start to see Claire's claws come out. Indeed, though Claire seems sweet after her treatment, everyone has a dark side. Just how vicious will Claire get when Summer threatens to take down Kyle? Victor Newman is determined to control his family's lives, indeed, while recovering from a projectile crack. Plus, will Victor eventually get word that Ian Ward isn't really dead? Or perhaps that Ian's body went missing? Phyllis will take part in some sabotage. Indeed, though Phyllis wouldn't admit it yet, she seems to have growing passions for Billy Abbott. Still, with Billy and Sally Spectra out in Paris, Phyllis might come up with a plan. Phyllis might claim that she's just upset about her friend. Still, Daniel Romalotti, Jr. could advise his mama not to intrude with Billy's love. When has Phyllis heeded to anyone, however? There should also be an update with Damian Kane and Holden Novak. Everyone seems to be advising Nate Hastings about his half-family. Still, what's Damian's real story? Billy is lying about his business provocations. Plus, Lily and Devon prompt Nate to be conservative about Damian, while Damian tells Holden he plans to leave Genoa City. In Paris, Billy checked his dispatches and rolled his eyes at Phyllis's repeated calls. She told him Daniel had accepted the job. Billy admitted he hired Daniel largely because of her. He comforted her he wasn't using the company to go after Victor. Latterly, Phyllis told Nick about her excitement over working with Daniel. Nick reminded her of Billy's history of tone interest. She defended Billy, saying he'd changed. Still, back in Paris, Billy made a secret call, telling someone to probe Nicky's conduct at Chancellor. At the extension, Nate told Lily and Devon about the real Damian. They raised enterprises about red flags and upset about his coming move. Nate understood why his half-family had been conservative, given their deception. Since Damian was successful, he might have assumed he was being scammed. Despite this, Lily and Devon still allowed. Damian sounded suspicious. Devon wondered why Nate was making too numerous defenses for him. Nate said he plotted to accept that Damian was related to him. Nate was determined to connect with Damian, but Devon advised him not to trust him. Lily refocused out that the decision was eventually Damian's. Nate hoped Damian watched enough about his mama to forgive her and bring her peace. Devon wondered how Nate would feel if Damian didn't. Nate admitted frustration at Damian's lack of concern for Amy, especially since she had indeed softened Audra's address. His relatives were skeptical, but he assured them it was real. Meanwhile, at Crimson Lights, Damian commended Holden about how his world had been turned upside down. Holden understood but refocused out that Amy's conduct had probably been well-intentioned. Damian plotted to forgive her. Holden suggested forgetting everything and returning to LA, which Damian eventually decided to do. After Damian left, Audra walked in, and she told Holden to keep their once secret. He reminded her that he helped her with Tucker. Holden said he'd keep their history a secret since he and Damian were leaving city.